Hey there, fight friends. We're joined today by one of our favorite guests, Fred Dupras, on his sophomore appearance here on the MMA show. He's fighting in the PFL next weekend against Ethan Goss. Fred, thank you for joining us.
Good, and you, Andy?
I'm really good, thanks. Fantastic. You're one of those guys. I've only met you two or maybe three times, and this is our second interview. But it seems like you always have a positive attitude, and you're always smiling, and you're always in a good place. Is that reality? Is that what you're really like?
I try, but I look like more a crazy guy normally. But in my in my life, I'm a very nice guy. It's only
Why
in
do you think you're a
training.
little bit of
Out of training, I'm more a social guy.
Yeah, with training, you get a lot of your energy out, and you just are able to just relax a little
Yeah,
bit more. I think, and that's common to a lot of people. That's why we do it.
yeah.
So, what's been up with you the past little while since we chatted?
And it's crazy because it was like a very up and down. Because I was supposed to fight in PFL Europe in December, and
Hmm.
my fight got canceled like 3 days before, and was crazy. It was a super shit show, and I got canceled like I think 20 minutes before. Just I was leaving my house to the airport, and
Wow.
it was the crazy day, very crazy. Like I was supposed to go there, and at the end, when I go to the airport, they when they cancel everything, they cancel my ticket and didn't work, and crazy shit show. So at the end of it, never went to Europe.
That's got to be really distressing. I mean, first of all, you went through a whole fight camp, and you know what going through a fight camp's like. First of all, it costs a lot of money because you're not working right then, or you're taking a lot of time away to be in the gym. You maybe I don't know about you, but some fighters pay for training partners, you pay for your coaches, you pay for supplements, you pay for food. You've got to get lots of sleep, so you can't be working during the time you're sleeping, and that's just the time and the money commitment from you, but also the psychological commitment. You're getting yourself prepared to to,
Yeah,
to fight like another person, and you might get hurt, and so that you go through a lot getting up to that point.
yeah,
Does the PFL? I know different organizations treat the fighters differently when things like this happen. Did the PFL pay you any show money or give you
yeah.
any
They give
compensation
me
for
my
that?
at least my show money, but I was when it's happening, it's crazy because it's my opponent that picks me. I was like, "What
Really?
you?" Yeah, it was super crazy. Like Andy, when I said to you, it was a shit show. It was a shit show, and I just get out of the shower and I just see his name on my Instagram, and I say mettons, this guy try to message you, and I was like, oh man, it's starting. I know, like it's not my first video. I know when the shit show is starting. I know when it's starting, and I knew right away. I was like, oh my god, it's starting. But
What did the message say to you?
they would just say like he's not gonna be able to fight and he's injured, but they hope that they gonna find me someone. I'm like, 3 day notice?
Mm.
Come on, man.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of cool that he had thought of you and messaged you right away.
Yeah, but in this kind of game, it don't really change nothing. Like at three, why you didn't tell? Like we all injure, we all go, we all like
Hmm.
if at 3 day you get more injury, we have a problem.
Yeah.
You should not put out 3 day before a fight. This is you should be professional. You should be more. How I can say like minutious, like you have to be careful. You have to
Sure.
go.
Yep.
It's it's our life. We get paid for this, so you have
Hmm.
a risk. If you're a real professional, you have to be careful. I know maybe it's not his fault. I understand that, but 3 day notice is kind of it's not.
Hmm. I've seen it happen a lot to a lot of fighters, and I always feel bad. But to me, it seems like it's especially egregious. It's especially bad at a level that you're competing because the PFL, UFC, and prior to that, Bellator, those are like top tier organizations where you are an absolute professional. This is your livelihood. This is what you do. And the most important thing you're losing out of all of it is you're losing time because
Yeah,
a fighter's career only lasts so long. You're
yeah,
using your body, and anytime you're taking time off to get ready for a fight and you've got to restart the whole thing without getting a fight, Man, that's terrible.
It's more. I have to give them seriously big credibility because, like, for me, it was a very shit show. I was not there. Like, I emotionally, I was not there. Like, I was very mad and a lot of emotion. But PFL right away. Yeah, they tell me like I'm gonna have my show money at least, and they
Mhm.
already almost booked me on the next card right away and give me a name
Mhm.
and everything. So it kind of go very fast. So I went to Christmas, but I knew I have a fight, and um, yeah, I knew the guy, I knew everything. So they were pretty fast. Normally, I'm always get last minute name, and they're like,
Yeah.
you should like they try to push it, or but it is what it is. So I was happy
Was
with
that
the
the
end of it.
was that the first time you had a fight get pulled out from you so close to the fight?
No, JT Arnett was the worst. JT
Mm.
Arnett was 30 minutes before the fight.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
so
nuts.
when I told you Andy it was not my first rodeo, I got some crazy night. Yeah, this one I think was one
When's
of the craziest. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. When something like that happens, when you are getting ready for a fight, and all of a sudden, just without any fanfare, it's just over, it's done, and you haven't even fought yet. What's it like? How do you prepare yourself mentally to get ready for the next fight? Are you still thinking the same thing that, like, why should I bother putting on all this effort because we're just going to stop the fight before it even happens?
It's very hard. It's more the day of you're so disappointed. You didn't like even your team. All the sacrifice you done, like they sacrificed
Hmm.
time for you, and it's hard because you cannot kind of pay them back too. Your performance sometimes it's their gift for them. When you win those kind of fight, they're like, man, this their win. Their win too, and
Yeah.
yeah, but it is you have to roll with it. You kind of it kind of make me feel sometimes now more prepared for the next one. I kind of know we feel what karma. It is kind of destiny. So n- I know when shit happen like that. I know the next fight is gonna be a very good one.
Hmm.
So I kind of roll
I've
with it.
said it.
Yeah, sorry.
I've said it. I, I've said it over and over again that some people, especially just maybe just basic fans of MMA, look at the sport and they think that it's a solo or an individual sport where it's just the fighter going into the cage against their opponent. But it's more than that. And you just alluded to that a minute ago. Your teammates, you wouldn't be where you are now without trusted people on in your gym and your team who are with you every day. They're punching you, you're punching them, you're rolling, you're sweating, you're putting a lot of time and effort together. So I like the way you said that. That if you win a fight, it's also somewhat their victory. That's gotta be very special.
Yeah. But this is what I think that's why me I have a big circle like a friend, and that's why I was a lot of time when you selling tickets and things like that. It's a lot of friends and family, and they know they try to help you even like diet or thing like that. Even change your mind. In the weekend, you sometimes like see some friends. It's nice to just release the stress and things like that. And for them just to go and go see the fight, it's for them the way to support you.
Yeah, I totally got it. It's a lot more pressure though for you as a fighter too if you know that a big part of the audience are your supporters or your family and your friends.
Me, I kind of like it, like because when like it give me another voice and just say, don't go crazy, don't do stupid shit, and like a
Mm.
lot of people is watching you. Sometimes when you're too much in your zone and you have nobody to think about it, you're kind of doing some mistakes. When you hear people like you see some friends, you're like, oh no, I don't want to lose in front of them and things like that. It kind of motivate you. For me, it motivate me to not do stupid shit.
That's good to know. Okay, so let's take a moment now and just move on to this upcoming weekend. Ethan Goss, your opponent, when you were given his name as somebody you would be fighting next, what did you think about him?
I thought it was a good matchup for me. Like I don't know, he's gonna see this and everything, but some of his train, it's good for me. And it's just style wise, I think it's gonna be very good for me. Kind of
How
similar of
so?
what I see before.
Can you elaborate? What makes you think that he is a good opponent for your skill set?
Nice. I don't want to say too much.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah, you don't want to give away
we
your game
never know
plan.
if he's gonna watch this or not. But style, you know, uh, style make fights, and I think my style is a big problem for him.
You're a really well-rounded fighter, and I think one of the things you're really known for is your transitions between striking and grappling.
Yeah.
You're scrambling, you're really good, you're fast on your feet. And some people, I don't know much about Ethan Goss. I confess I haven't even really looked at who he is, but a lot of people have a really difficult time dealing with your maneuverability. I think, and I think maybe hopefully that's something that he'll have a challenge with as well.
Yeah, I think it's mixed with pressure and explosivity. So it's kind you don't know where I'm going, and the mix with pressure with explosivity. It's kind of hard mix to deal with.
Hmm.
And
Let's
I'm
talk.
really going. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
going like the
I'm
Energizer
coming.
Bunny. Go, go, go.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your training camp for this. You train the majority of your training, if not all, was at H2O MMA with Coach Richard Ho. Was it the same for this camp, or did you do any traveling?
Most of it, yeah, with I did with Richard, but I did some a lot of boxing too with me and my two friends, Whitney and Dave. They're more boxer, but for me, it was good to just get back to some other things and than just my usual.
Hmm.
So they helped me a lot for this camp.
When you take a look at where you are now as a fighter, and by that I mean your overall skill set and mental preparation, and and physicality, and your age and your maturity, everything. Where do you think you are right now in comparison to where the 100% best Fred Dupras fighter you ever be in your life is? Like, are you close to that point, or do you still have a long way to go?
It's a good question because I feel like everything always give me it make me better every time. Every fight I get better. Even the shit show make me better because they make me handle things differently and make me think different. Make me more enjoying things sometimes. You know.
Well, that's good. I think if you're not enjoying this process, I know it's a job, and that's weird for people to think of. Like, say you have friends who are office workers, they work at Costco or they work at the post office or wherever, and they go to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. To them, that's what a job is. But this is your job, and if you hated it, it would really suck. And like, why would you do it? I mean, so
Yeah.
you've got to love it. So that's good.
But it's weird because it's not. I like the build up. I like to see myself getting better. You know, like me, I'm preparing myself every time. It's not a random thing. I'm preparing myself for one person only. So things. I'm not focusing on all my rounds with anybody. Like there are going to be certain rounds I'm going focusing, and I like to see the development of it. Like I see I'm getting better at this. I see like I like to go for this. And the fight, I don't really like it because it's stressful, but the after for me when you see all the sacrifice you did and it worked and they have no more they have no more best feeling than this for sure.
Hmm.
Then winning is the best.
I have no doubt. I'll never experience that in your capacity. It's pretty amazing to think that, you can one point in your life you're just this young gawky little boy kid, and then all of a sudden you're a grown man and you're walking out to crowds of people cheering your name and applauding and watching you perform. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's super crazy. I don't even every time I'm making the walk, I'm like, all right, like I don't even understand why I do it, but it's after the fight, you why you do it.
Hmm.
It's kind of mixed feelings. It's kind of it's come Yeah, it is what it is.
Have you ever been a part of any conversations or been aware of the PFL if they've ever said anything about maybe holding shows in Canada someday?
Yeah, I did, but it was not for me. Like it was more at the time, like Olivier Aubin-Mercier was fighting for
Hmm.
PFL. He
Yep,
tried to put PFL in Canada, in Montreal, because he was already champion and his name was pretty big. But the
sure. He's
thing
a two-time
here was
champion. Yeah,
all the Reggie in Montreal.
yeah.
Yeah, it was shit.
For
Yeah,
the listeners watching, listening who don't know what the Régie is, it's the Régie d'Alcool and whatever. I don't know what it is in French, but it's essentially the Mixed Martial Arts Commission in Quebec. And you know, I've never. I don't even know what to say. I gotta have to be careful what I say here, but I've been told that they can be quite challenging to deal with sometimes, and you have
yeah.
to really be careful what
When
you
I
say
say
and
shit,
careful what you do.
it's not like for like it just. I think this is the reason I don't understand. I can sometimes it's crazy. You're like it's small detail, and you're like, why you don't let those kind of thing go? It's just like they're rolling on old rules. They have a
Yeah,
paper, and if it don't follow the paper, they don't do nothing. But sometimes it's could be a different of a circle or an octagon.
yeah, I totally get it. I don't know if you know this, but I got in a little bit of trouble from the Régie like
Um.
2 years ago, I think. It was one of the samurais I was attending. I don't know if you like when I travel around the country to Canada, I've been to fights in British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, Montreal, or Quebec, the Maritimes. I've been all around. And it's just one thing I do is after the fights, I go in the cage and I take pictures of the fighters and the teams and
Yeah.
I get your hands raised and all that stuff. So I never, when I was in Quebec for the first time, I never asked anybody. Just the fight was over. I walked up in the cage and I started taking pictures, and I did that for half the fight. Like I was there for like 5 or 6 fights, and then finally, this one guy in a blue coat, looked at me and says, "Who said you could be in here?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're not allowed to be in here." I said, "Oh, I didn't know." So I thought they were going to kick me out of the venue, but no, they just looked at me like this,
Yeah.
and then I
But
went
they're
and I
they're
sat
very
outside the
strict.
cage.
It's not that they're not nice or thing like that. They're just very strict, and they follow rule by rules. They don't understand. They don't go with flow sometimes. They should more be loose. You know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's important to have flexibility and being able to make new decisions, during the time of something happening. Like get together, get the top 2 or 3 guys together, or maybe one person in charge of the regie and say, hey, this guy wants to do this tonight. Can we do this? And then you have a discussion about it. Then you make a decision.
Yeah.
And I think most organizations have that ability, but I'm not quite so sure the regie is there yet. All right, Fred. This was a great talk, man. Is there anything that you think I should have asked you that we should talk about that I didn't ask you?
No, I think we good. Hope you go and see the fight.
Okay. I hope so. Yeah, I'm going to try to. It all depends on what my work schedule's like, but I try to see every single fight that I can. So anyway, man, thank you so much for the time to speak with us. I know it's always getting up to a fight. You're probably nervous and have a lot going on, so I appreciate your time and thanks for everything.
Thank you, Andy.
There you go, fight friends. Fred Dupras fighting in the PFL next weekend in Pittsburgh.